Hi, this is Jan with Jan's Jewelry Supplies. Today we're going to be making this rose and light rose rhinestone necklace. I have all of my supplies set aside. I'm going to begin by rolling out Play-Doh and just start placing my rhinestones where I need them. I'm just going to continue to lay down rhinestones until all of the pieces for the centerpiece are in place. Now that all of my pieces have been laid out, I'm going to go ahead and begin soldering. I'm going to use some 300-degree solder that is pre-fluxed along with a heat gun. And when you're soldering, you just want to make sure that every piece that is close together or touching is actually soldered. And you really don't need a whole lot of solder. It's just a little bit. It's kind of like drawing a line between the settings, and you want to heat up the settings, not the solder. The solder will melt from the heated settings. Now that I have completed the bottom portion of the necklace, I am going to work on the pieces that go at the center and on the sides. With these, I'm going to do just triangular pieces. Two of them will have rounds going around two sides, and then three of them will have the navets on two sides. Just going to lay out my pieces. Now that I have all of my pieces laid out, I'm going to begin soldering. Again, I'm using 300-degree solder with a heat gun, and I am just going to solder these small rounds to the triangle, and you're going to make 2 of those, and then when it gets to the navets, you are going to just solder the navets to the triangle piece, and you're going to make 3 of those. Now that I have all of the elements for the necklace soldered together, I am going to go ahead and put the necklace together. I am just going to put the bottom portion down on some Play-Doh just to reinforce it, because I'm going to be heating it up to add some chain. Just need to roll it out a little bit more. This needs to be a little bit longer. Any area that you're heating up, you want to make sure it's secure if you've already soldered it. And just covering about half of the piece should be good. Or I say covering it, actually sitting it about halfway into the Play-Doh will reinforce that edge where it's going to get hot. I'm going to go ahead and add some rhinestone chain. I've just got a 3-piece section. Just want to find the best place to position this centerpiece. And you don't want these chains to be soldered together. You just want to solder each end to the piece you're connecting it to. Just want to make sure it's straight and that it's going to lay properly. And now I'm going to take my 2 sides of rhinestone chain and attach them as well. I'm trying to make sure that they are parallel to the lower chain so that it gives the appearance of one piece. Now that I have the rhinestone chain in place along with the centerpiece, I'm going to go ahead and begin soldering. And I'm only going to be soldering 6 connections. There'll be 2 connected to the bottom portion, and then 2 connected to the centerpiece, and then 2 connected to the top of the centerpiece. And again, I'm using 300-degree solder with a heat gun. Now that I have those pieces soldered together, I am going to begin working on the sides. I just need to lay down enough Play-Doh that will hold the length that I need. And I think the piece that I had might be long enough. First, going to position the round one, or the one with the round settings, and don't think I'm going to have quite enough room to do this one. I'm going to have to adjust just a little bit. You just want your rhinestone chain butted up against the rounded triangle pieces, and you want to make sure your spacing is correct. You want to make sure that you are soldering to at least 2 of the rhinestones on the chain. This will make it more stable, and it will help it to lay better. If you just have it to 1, then you're probably going to have some twisting of the necklace, and it's also not going to be very secure. Now that all the pieces are soldered, all we have left to do is to add some jump rings to the end of the rhinestone chain, and then we'll add a clasp, and then we'll be done. I'm just going to lay the chain in the Play-Doh. Then I'm going to take jump rings and butt them up against the chain. And the open end of the jump ring should be going towards the chain. That way you can solder it shut and it'll be more secure. Now I'm just going to take the heat gun and add a little bit of solder. Okay, everything has been soldered. Now all I have to do is add the fold over clasp, and it has a little loop on the end, and you just put your jump ring around the loop or you actually put the loop around your jump ring. Just put the jump ring on there, and then you just take your pliers and close it down. Once you have that connected, it just snaps closed. You just put your other jump ring inside of it and you snap it closed and you're done. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.